Student Presentation 1. The Moon is a Harsh Mistress by Sajdah Fermon. Robert A. Heinlein, the author of The Moon is a Harsh Mistress, was born in July of 1907 in the state of Missouri. He was an aeronautical engineer and a screenwriter, but was known best for his science fiction novels. He is known for incorporating important themes in his story, such as freedom, liberty, and determination. Some of his best works include Starship Troopers, Time Enough for Love, and The Moon is a Harsh Mistress, which we are going to be talking about today. Manny is one of the main characters in the book and is one of the people who helped start the revolution. He is the first person to ever recognize that Mike, the computer which he programs and is owned by Earth, is alive and can feel things like any other human can. Mike is the brains of the revolution. The revolution was started by a man by the name of Professor. Professor was Manny's teacher. Professor wanted the moon to be considered a free state, and he no longer wanted to be owned by the Earth. The idea I have chosen to explain is the revolutionary strategy in the book. This strategy can sometimes be a bit confusing when you first read the book. Professor was the one to come up with the idea of revolting against lunar authority and was the one who came up with the idea of the revolutionary strategy. Let's start off at the beginning of this revolutionary strategy. There will be 3 people at the top. Those 3 main people are Wyoming Knott, Manny, and Professor. Wyoming, Manny, and Professor are allowed to contact each other because they are the 3 that started the revolution, but there are restrictions. They can only contact each other through Mike. So now we know the top chain of the strategy is Wyoming, Manny, and Professor. Wyoming, Manny, and Professor are each allowed to have 3 people underneath them. For example, let's say Manny here, he adds on 3 of his family members, and we'll name these 3 family members Michael, Mark, and Mary. Michael, Mark, and Mary do not know who's in their pod, who's at the same level of the chain as them. All they know is that they have been recruited by Manny, and they have contact with Manny only through Mike. Michael, Mark, and Mary are not allowed to call each other, even through Mike. And same goes for anyone who Professor or Wyoming recruit. Anyone in your pod you're not allowed to have contact with unless you are Manny, Professor, or Wyoming. They can't email them, they can't call them, they can't go and meet them. There is absolutely no contact between anyone in your pod if you're not in the top 3. This chain will continue and continue, each person adding on their 3 recruits. The good thing about this strategy is that if anyone is exposed or turns traitor on the revolution, they can only expose the person who recruited them into the revolution and nobody else. This system is safe and reliable because the revolution will never completely fall apart if a few people become traitor or get exposed. This system, finally, after many trials and some errors, the revolution finally ended in success. Thanks for watching.